please, to folks who are so frustrated, I share the frustration.
You could hear the exasperation in the Premier's voice, pleading for patience with pandemic measures, particularly the restrictions exemption program. And then he promised there is an end in sight.
I am very optimistic that we will be able to move forward with meaningful relaxation of public health measures this month.
This is the clearest timeline yet that Albertans have received, but for some in caucus, it didn't go far enough. At 5:22, while the Premier was still speaking, Dave Hansen emailed in a chain that included more than 100 people, from caucus members to government staff. Just a thought: diffuse the border confrontation and remove the restrictions exemption program as of midnight. 2 birds with 1 stone. How is it that the entire caucus agrees to a solution and it can be ignored? Caucus met on Monday. 100% agree, Dave, Glenn Van Dyken responded. The caucus has spoken, yet the Executive Council decides otherwise. We are the government that works for the people, replied Angela Pitt. Who is running the show? Eventually, caucus chair Nathan Newdorf responded, Caucus, please use some decorum and common sense. Caucus business should be emailed to caucus only. This is not a common chat line. We have Slack for that. Well, MLAs have been using their phones too.
My phone has been ringing off the hook.
Brian Jean says he's been speaking with disgruntled MLAs who aren't feeling listened to. Jean is, of course, running for the UCP in the soon-to-be-called by-election in Fort McMurray-Lac-La-Biche, and he says the Premier needs to listen.
On a day like today, where the Conservative caucus in Ottawa showed that it was listening to CPC members across the country, the Premier would do well to listen to his caucus.
The UCP now says restrictions could start to be lifted within days, but political watchers say we've seen repeatedly this also comes with political risk.
We had the unfortunate tendency to promise things that eventually had to backtrack, which eroded further the trust of Albertans in the Premier.
A trust that for some in caucus has already been lost. Tom Vernon, Global News.